What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, if you are new here and you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, drop your comments down below, subscribe. That's the big one. Subscribe. That helps me out a lot. But yeah, today we're talking about something new on the channel. It's a little bit new to some people because I don't talk about this on the channel, but I'm gonna talk about it today. I watched it on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been following this season. We're talking about Love Island games. This season, let me just start off, and the main thing I want to talk about is the episode from last night and then the fallout, the discourse that's going on online on social media. And what I'm saying, I'm talking about the Imani versus Justine situation that's going on. So I want to talk about that. I got a lot of thoughts in regards to how the fans are starting to spin certain narratives, which I feel like are not even necessary, and I feel like it's not even existing in my mind, and I feel like it's not even existing in the two parties' minds that you are seeing a lot of the discourse in on social media. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about all parties involved, and I'm gonna just give y'all an overall view of how I feel about the season. And the season is probably without a doubt the best reality show in a long time. Like Peacock hit it out the park. But thumbs up the video, drop your comments down below, and I'm expecting some. There might be some people that might not like what I say because there's two different parties. And honestly, I'm on both people's sides because I see both sides of the spectrum. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let's go. All right. So we're gonna start off with last night, and we're not really gonna get too deep into it. It's just gonna be an overview. If you know my style of recaps, I'm very detail oriented. This is not gonna be detail oriented. It's just gonna be like an overview of last night and then just an overview of the season too, because the people I'm talking about have had a very big part of this season. So what I want to start with is Imani has won. We all know this. If you've been watching the show, Imani has won damn near every single competition, and if she has not won every single competition, she's been in the top three to where she has not been vulnerable until this last episode. And when I say that, and when I'm saying Imani particularly, I'm meaning Imani particularly because, granted, she's in a couple with Ray, but she was in a couple with Johnny. She won a challenge with Johnny. She was in a couple with Ray. She won challenges with Ray. She was in a couple with Ayal, and she's won a challenge with him. And she was in the top three with Mike in the other challenge. So Imani is a threat in this game. She's the only girl this season that has really won more than one or two challenges. So she's a threat in that aspect, which brings me to my next point. Justine and Jack, also a very strong couple, but in a different way. And I feel like this is what's getting skewed online. A lot of people are saying they haven't won the big competitions because they've been the ones that have been vulnerable in the bottom three numerous times. That is true. They're not winning challenges, but like y'all said, they've been in the bottom three numerous times to where that doesn't make their threat level as high as Imani's because she's won challenges. Wrong. And this is why I'm gonna say it's wrong. Their threat level is high because let's not forget, Justine is a previous winner of this show. Don't let that go. Don't let that go over your head. She's a previous winner of the show. Not only that, as y'all have said, they've been in the bottom three times, or maybe four. But guess what? They're still here. Why? Because they have an immaculate social game. They have a lot of people that want them there. Imani, where she lacks in the social aspect, she makes up for the performance. She's able to win to put herself in power. These two are not performing the greatest, but they're able to have a power. They're able to have power in their hands in terms of being able to control how the votes go. If they're in the bottom three, they know there's a strong chance that they won't go home. So, in that aspect, both players have, and I'm saying both players, is really Jack and Justine versus Imani because Ray is not playing the game. Let me get on him. Ray is a loser. I'm not a fan of him at all. Like, he's a fucking loser. When I tell you he's a loser, he's coming to this game wanting to play best friends. And this is where I thought, if you follow me on Twitter, I said last week Justine and Sally are playing best friend game, like best friend to the end, which essentially is not a problem because why would you not want to have somebody that you know is going to trust you at the end and you're going to trust them at the end? So they're going to have each other's best interests at heart, which is not a problem. But that's what they're going to do. They're best friends. Granted, Justine and Ray are supposedly best friends. They're close. I don't know if they're super best friends, but they're close. Ray, for some odd reason, thinks that Justine would look out for him and Sally would look out for him. And I'm like, maybe they will to a certain extent, but if push comes to shove and they get a chance to cut you over each other, they're going to do that. And that's where Imani was talking about last week or last episode. And she's been talking about trying to get Justine out from Jump. And this is where I'm talking about the narrative starting to spin. People online, as I'm saying, if you feel hit, you probably gonna jump in them comments and try to check me about it. But if you feel hit, it's probably applying to you. People want to say Imani's been going after Justine because she's jealous and she wants Jack and she's anti-black, which I think is crazy that y'all are starting to spin that narrative. Because to me, Imani is looking at it from a game aspect. Justine's a threat just as much as Imani is, but in different ways. Imani is a threat challenge wise. Justine is a threat social wise. Both girls going for each other makes sense. Both of them have valid points. Neither one of them are close to each other. Imani has Ray, who was close to Justine, which Justine obviously would want to look out for Ray, but at the end of the day, Justine is there to play the game. So she's going to do what's going to get her further in the game, which Imani understands. Ray does not understand that. That's her whole issue with Ray is where she even brought up to him that she wanted to see how to get them out. And he's like, no, why would we do that? Because they're my best friends and they got my back. We need to stay with the alliance. We need to stay with the alliance. Whereas we also saw in the episode at the beginning, before the challenge even happened, everybody wanted to say what happened in the challenge is what had Imani and Ray getting ready to go out the door. But no, they've been trying. You see at the beginning, Jack and Justine are like, I don't trust Imani. Imani is winning these challenges. We don't know where she stands. She's a threat to be at the end, and she could possibly win the game. And they're like, we need to find a way to get them out of here. And this was before the challenge even started. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to keep reiterating that. There's nothing wrong with either one of these sides going at each other. That's the point. That's why they're there. They're not there to be best friends. They're not there to play best friends. The only one that's not understanding that is Ray. He's the one that's not understanding that, which is why later on Justine gets so emotional because she realizes he might take this personally and might be mad at her about making the game move. But we'll get on that. I'm trying to build up. But and then I want to bring up too, and I might put a clip in here. I don't know if I can, but I'll figure it out.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. I'd rather us four in the fight. Us five. Us five. It's not facts. I don't think that's you.
Wait, look, we're all here. Can we just agree on that?
Yes.
100%. Shake my hand. Shake my palm hand. Look me in the eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Not you.
No, look me in the eyes.
I'm looking at you.
There's a specific scene that happened in last night's episode. I don't know if y'all saw it, but I'm gonna clip it in. Ray walks in while Jack, Johnny, I want to say Callum, and Eyal, those four were having a conversation about wanting to be the final four. And Jack was spearheading that. I want us to be the final four. And as he's saying that, Ray is walking in. And as Ray is walking in, Johnny sees it and says, no, the five. He tries to correct him like the five because he sees Ray coming. And Ray's dumb ass is like literally sitting there like, yeah, let's do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And I'm like, how did you not hear that? Because you were walking, and they were in the same frame when Jack was saying it. So I know he heard it, but Jack trying to cover it up. Which Jack is a good game player. When I say he's a good game player, he's a good game player. And Justine is too. They're smart. They're playing the game the way you should play the game. Ray's not playing that game. And you could tell Imani was trying to figure out a way to make him start playing the game. But that brings me to the next point. Imani now trying to realize, okay, it's a numbers game. And at the end of the day, and a lot of people are saying too that she jumped too soon. And I'm like, how did she jump too soon when the show is about to end in 2 days? Y'all realize we got like 2 more episodes left of the show and it's pretty much done. So how is that too soon? If anything, she waited too late. Well, I didn't say she waited too late. She tried to shoot a couple times, but she couldn't shoot if nobody else was going to back her. So at this point, it's like back off. But she's trying to realize, well, she's starting to realize I need to figure out ways to get this together. And if you look at it from a numbers side, it makes sense because if you want to be for real, Imani's looking at herself in the middle as a swing vote because she knows she's not in close with Justine and Sally. So then you have Courtney, you got Zeta, and you got Dev. Those three girls versus Justine, Sally, and who else am I missing? The girl that Johnny's with. Yeah, those three. So that's 3-3. Now let's try and get the numbers over here. Because if we go over here, we can start chipping off at this side because, as we know, Justine and Sally gonna have each other's back towards the end, and they're low key running the house. Like they're low key running the game from a social aspect. So she decides to go over, talking to Zeta, Courtney, and Deb, pretty much saying, "Look, this is what's going on. It's pretty clear that they're locked in. We need to find a way to get to the end." And she tells them that she wants their trust and she wants to show them that she's trusting him. She's trusting them. And she says, "My loyalty is going to be proven today," which I love Imani down, but she definitely fucked up in this instance. But I'm not even mad at her for fucking up because guess what? She was bold enough to take a shot. She was bold enough to do what she wanted to do at the end of the day. And I respect it. It's a game move. It's something that she's not cowering to these people. She's not a sheep. She's doing what she wants to do to get herself to the end. And that brings me to my next point. Right. From a relationship standpoint, because he decided to make Imani his girlfriend to this episode. And the whole episode, he was trying to blame her, which is what he's been doing all season. Like when Mike came in the house and pulled her to be coupled up with her, he decided he wanted to blame Imani for that. Which is like, how is it Imani's fault that she's getting picked to be somebody's couple? Like she don't have any kind of say in it. She can't say no. Like that's the point of the game. So Ray is very childish. In my opinion, Imani is way out of Ray's league. Ray is very childish. Like I said, he's immature. He's very insecure. It's pretty clear he's insecure because he knows that woman is fine. Like that's a fine ass woman, and he knows the right dude that walks in that house could snatch her away from him. And I honestly don't believe that relationship is, which we clearly see nowadays. It's not an existing relationship. Imani's playing the game. She's there to win. It's clear she had some type of connection with him, but I don't think it was as big of a connection as the producers want us to believe it to be. And I feel like Ray wasn't feeling Imani as much as he claims he was. I feel like Ray got a deeper connection with Sally and Justine both than he does with Imani. But the thing is with Ray too, you can tell from watching this episode that he wants to control Imani, and the fact that he can't control her drives him crazy. And then he likes to cry and pout and shit. I'll get on that in a minute. But let's move to the challenge. Once we get to the challenge, which is without a doubt one of the most I don't know about y'all, I was so anxious watching this challenge. Like I never felt so intense and just felt like I was involved in this watching the show, and I can't tell you the last time. But it was very intense because a lot of stuff was going on. They start pretty much showing their cards. This whole game was about showing your cards, showing who you're aligned with, who you're willing to ship out, or who you're willing to save and protect. And this was bad for Imani. Honestly, this was bad for her because Deb, who is best friends with Courtney, because they came from the same season with Zeta, she decided to show her hand and pretty much allow Scott, who was her partner, Callum, to make the decision for her and target Courtney and Scott. Courtney was pissed off about it, rightfully so. But Imani also seeing like, okay, as these rounds keep going and everybody keeps going, they keep kind of targeting them, Scott and Courtney. And she's like, so what do we do? Should we just go for Johnny? Because it's going to be a smarter thing for him. Because honestly, he's talking about how Sally and Justine are his best friends. Johnny is supposedly his best friend too, but he's harping on the Justine and Sally thing. So in my mind, I'm thinking Imani's thinking, okay, well, I'm going to give you the best of both worlds. We don't have to go for Sally and Justine, but we can go for Johnny instead of me showing my hand, because she didn't tell him this, at least it wasn't shown. She didn't tell him that she already kind of in a way gave some type of loyalty to these other girls, which put her at a rock and a hard place. Like I said, she's at this point now where she don't even know what's the best thing to do. So with her spreading it out, I see why she was doing that. Was it a smart decision? No. But that's what she was doing. She felt like she needed to do that, and that's what she did. And they were split. They were not on the same page. And Of course, that just made them look sketchy, but a lot of people want to say that's the reason why the people targeted them the way they did. No, they didn't. That's not the reason why. They were going to target Imani and Ray from the beginning because, as we saw at the beginning of the episode, they were already trying to figure out ways to get them out. So this is the chance to get them out because Imani has not lost a challenge yet. She's never been vulnerable, which is a smart thing for them to do. Why not target her whenever there's a chance that we can get her out? So they start doing it. We get to the third round eventually, which I got to Zeta and Courtney, even though I didn't like how Courtney face palmed Imani, we'll get to that. But those two, especially Zeta, I've always respected them because I'm a very blunt person too. I put it straight. I'm not the type of person that really sugarcoats anything because I'm not an empathetic person, honestly. I'm gonna say what it is, and I mean what I say, and that's how they are. They was calling it out, like, "Why the fuck are y'all putting this shit on us?" Like, it is what it is, and they was doing what they was doing, and you could tell in a certain instance, Zeta wanted to shake shit up, but she saw the numbers were pretty much against what she was trying to do. So at this point, it's like, why even try to do this when it's clear Imani and Ray are being targeted? So that brings me to the pie situation. Scott and Courtney, and I'm gonna say this too because I forgot to mention this. Scott, who a lot of people on social media are calling him a bitter loser for doing this. Let me preface it. I don't like Scott. I ain't never liked Scott. I'm tired of seeing Scott on TV. He's been on what 3 seasons of the show in the past 5 or 6 months. That's crazy. Tired of seeing him. But one thing I will pride him on: that man will speak his truth and will call some shit out. And honestly, when it comes to calling the stuff out on the show, he's not. What he's saying is not invalid. Him calling out Justine and Jack and Sally and Al and saying the two of y'all need to be split up and said it in front of everybody. But people want to call him a bitter loser because he's not doing what they want him to do. It's like the people that are online coming for him, coming for Zeta, coming for Imani, y'all are mad because they're not playing for your favorites, which is like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? And how are they wrong for coming for your favorites? Why would they make it easier for them to get to the end? And listen, I said Justine's a winner, but Sally is a runner up in this game. Yes, Zeta has won, but she's an outcast essentially because she's a new girl on the show. So she's not in any position of power. So, and Scott too. Scott's not in he's not in any position of power. So why would he not try and go for the people that are pretty well connected in the game and at least make it known to have people start to doubt it? But that's what happened there. But we'll get to the pie with Imani. So they decided to start pieing Imani and Ray. Everybody. Just back to back to back to back to back. And it's funny because Imani told Ray that your best friends are going to look out for them at the end of the day. So if you want to go ahead and keep playing like the loyalty game, that's on you. But your best friends are going to play for themselves at the end of the day. They're not going to be worried about your loyalty. They're going to do what is going to make sure that they get to the end, which is not wrong. And what she was saying is not wrong. And them deciding to do that is not wrong. Because guess what? I would do the same thing. Y'all would hate me if I was on the show because I would be the villain. I would be the one leaning into that because I'm going to do what I want to do. Granted, we might get close on the show and stuff, but I didn't come into this show with you. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do to get myself to the end, which is why I go back to Imani. And people are so upset with her for playing the game the way she wanted to and not succumbing to basically playing for third and fourth place. Because if Sally and Justine are in the final two together, or if they're in the final four, period, if they're in the finals, they're going to get to the final two, and one of them is going to win. Why would I want to attach myself to that? Why would I not try and shoot them out? Like, I just don't understand that. But we get to the pie situation. Courtney decides that she is going to pie Deb and Callum and Imani and Ray. And it's funny because Imani is wearing Courtney's clothes as she's doing what she's doing, which is so savage, honestly. And people want to sit here and say, because Courtney kept talking about how you're wearing my clothes from head to toe, which it was clear she's trying to embarrass Imani, which is why I'm glad she said, bitch, like, pie me. Get me good. Get it all over your clothes. I don't give a fuck. Do what you got to do. So she ends up getting up. And when she said that, Courtney was like dumbstruck because she didn't know what else to say. Because Imani was like, okay, I get it. I fucked you over. It is what it is. In my mind, it's like, she's like, okay, yeah, I'm wearing your clothes, but you're acting like I'm broke. You're acting like I'm homeless and don't have no clothes. I can take these clothes off if you want me to. That's what I was feeling. But she gets up there and Courtney decides that she wants to smash that damn pie in her face. And this is where I said something online too on one of the Instagram pages. I said Imani was dope for flicking that shit back in her face. because the way she and then I was like, people saying, well, she should have took that pie. She shouldn't have threw it back in her face. Says who? Like everybody else was dainty with it. Nobody else threw that pie in her face the way she threw that pie in her face. Granted, Courtney is upset, which I could understand, but like you throwing a pie forcefully in my face and then getting it all over her hair too. And y'all know if you a black woman watching this, you know how y'all are about y'all's hair and how important it is to make sure that hair is not being fucked with. So of course Imani's gonna flick it back. She better be lucky that's all she did was flick it back. Because if they weren't on TV, who's to say the hands wouldn't have been thrown? And Imani wouldn't have been wrong for it because you did a little bit too much with that throw. Which granted I enjoyed it because it was good TV. Because I'd have been pissed off if Imani would have let her throw that in her face and she didn't do nothing else. So Imani, and this is why I say Imani is the star of the show for me. Imani and Johnny have literally brought the chaos. They've won every challenge, damn near. Johnny is a mess. Like he's playing with these girls consistently, playing the same type of game with them, spitting the same shit on them, and they still just eating it up. But yeah, so we get to that. Everything's done there. Everybody's pretty much shocked and like dumbstruck because Imani is doing what Imani wants to do, which then makes it look like okay, now we're gonna come for her because she's showing that she don't really have too much loyalty to anybody. And it's like okay, I'm like at this point I don't blame her for not really being loyal to anybody. But that brings me to the end because they're vulnerable with Zeta and who was her partner? I think Mike is his name. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And then Courtney and Scott. So they're the bottom three, and they all had to pick up this toy too, which in the toy is a heart. And the gold heart is the heart that can choose to save one of the three because two couples are going home. And of course, which I honestly believe this was set up by production because it's the best storyline. If somebody else would have got it that did not have a connection to any of these couples down here, or at least the big couple, which is Imani and Ray, it wouldn't have hit the way it hit. But of course, Justine and Jack got it. And to me, I'm like, and like I said, Ray was blaming Imani the whole time, which is why I can't stand him because you asked this woman to be your girlfriend, and if I'm gonna ask a girl on the show to be my girl, and it's just off the show, period. If you're my girl, I'm going to back you regardless. Fuck the best friends, like you are my girl. At the end of the day, you are mine. I'm supposed to protect you. So regardless, we have to figure something out. But at the end of the day, we are a united front. He was trying to plead in pride to where it felt like it was an individual thing for him. He was like, we best friends and stuff. Like, we're going to see how y'all feel. Like, I know this stuff happened with Imani, but we best friends. What about her? Like, you just acting like she just chopped liver over here. But like I said, Justine got the gold heart, and you can see all over Justine's face. And I don't know how Ray didn't see it, or at least didn't realize, boom, it's up for me. Because the way Justine looked back, and she was like, oh, fuck, here we go. Dad should have told you she gonna have to send you home, and I'm not even mad at Justine for it. That's why I don't get why people are so upset. Like, why are y'all so upset that Justine is playing for Justine and Imani was playing for Imani? Why is it such an issue? They might not like each other, which is pretty clear because they don't follow each other on social media. You don't see them together at any of these meetings and whatever. But that's okay. They don't have to like each other. They don't have to. They're playing a game. So for the people to get online and make it such a big deal, and I see a lot of people saying that Imani is jealous of Justine, which I'm like, why are y'all painting this? And it's sad too because a lot of the people that are saying that are black women. Don't get mad at me for saying, but it is. Which I don't understand why they're doing that. Why are y'all trying to pit them against each other in this way? Yes, from a game standpoint, they're going at each other because yes, they're both two strong black women and they both trying to win the game. Like, what's the issue? But a lot of people are taking it personal, and it's like to me, I feel like a lot of people are trying to spin a narrative because they don't like Imani. They feel like Imani is a threat. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm gonna say it again. This is my opinion. I feel like a lot of the people that are saying this about her are threatened at the fact that maybe she could possibly steal Jack away from Justine, or at least think that she is trying to do that. Which where y'all getting this from? I don't understand. I don't know, but I don't feel like she is. I don't feel like she's a factor in that relationship. Jack and Justine, they clearly have built something pretty good because they're still together to this day. And I don't feel like Justine is even saying that, and I don't even see Imani saying it as that. Like to me, I feel like they just don't. I don't want to say don't even see it for each other, but they don't see it for each other. Like, and that's cool. Neither one of them have got online and talked crazy about each other. Granted, Imani is in the comments liking everything that is saying what I feel Ray's a dumbass, and he allowed what you said to literally come true because it's pretty clear the way they left it on the cliffhanger that they're going to be the ones going home, which would make sense because Justine was crying, and of course his punk ass was sitting there crying his eyes out. And I can't stand somebody. I say it all the time. I can't stand somebody that sits and cries all day long, especially a grown ass man. I'm the type I don't sit and cry. I can count on one hand how many times I've cried. But Ray is just I don't get him. Like he's corny to me. Imani, you can do better. I wish she had Mike. I wish Mike was still here because Mike and Imani together would have been a very chaotic duo, very entertaining, and I think things could have went a different way, which would have made it even more entertaining. Because them two versus Jack and Justine, especially considering how Jack and Mike got into it in that duel. Granted, it was like in the heat of the moment because at the end they were men and had respect for each other at the end. But them two versus Imani and Justine, that's a good show. Like, what is the issue? I feel like a lot of people are taking it too personal, making it too deep. But at the end of the day, Justine and Imani are playing the game. Jack is playing the game. And it's beautiful to watch. This is why this show is so good. This is one of the best shows I've seen in so long. So long. It's such a good season. The cast is so good. Justine, Imani, Jack, Selly, Johnny, who else? Jess, Liberty, Callum. Like, it's so many good cast members this season. Courtney, Zeta. There's a lot of these people I would love to see integrate into the challenge because they would make the challenge better. Because the way they play in this game, this show is better than Big Brother. It's better than the challenge. It's been a great season, and I can't wait to see the next season. And I feel like next season I will actually want to review it because it's been so good. And I hope the cast is good. The people I would like to see Trey from season 2. I would like to see Mercedes from season 2. Jeff from season 4. Get some of them people from the UK. Whitney. I don't know if she's still in a relationship, so that's the interesting part. But I would like to see her on here. Tyreek, Ella, Catherine. I'd like to see all of them come on here, but they got a good thing going, and that's just where I stand on it. If you don't agree, you can drop it down there. Just be respectful, because if you're not respectful, I will block you, and it is what it is. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Let's hopefully the people online. Why are y'all trying to pit these two black women against each other in this way? Game wise, you can do whatever, but personally, I think it's weird, especially if you're black and you are a black woman and you're chanting this on. Like, that's crazy to me. But that's my thoughts on it. If you like what you see, and enjoyed my commentary, please check out my page. I have some other shows that I review. I might do a finale, depending on how it goes. I might have something to talk about for the finale. But yeah, I'm enjoying the season. The season's great. Let me know what y'all think about the season, and let me know what y'all think about all this mess, especially the episode, because the way they left it on that cliffhanger, tomorrow's gonna not. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be really good. I'd be shocked if it ends up being something completely different, because if they're gonna leave it on a cliffhanger when it was so obvious that Imani and Bray went home, if they left it on a cliffhanger and they didn't go home, boy, that's gonna be entertaining. That's gonna be entertaining, but it's not gonna happen. I don't feel like it's gonna happen, but if it does, that would be hella entertaining. But let me know what y'all think. Drop your comments. Follow me on my socials. They're down there if you want to continue the conversation that way. Hit me. I'll be in Twitter. But yeah, thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow if you watch my baddies reviews. Peace.